Hello there, welcome to This Week in Parliament. On today's edition, we bring you an intriguing interview with the Vice Chair of the Budget Committee of the House and Member of Parliament for Kade constituency, Honorable Alexander Ejare. Honorable, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
It's been the week or so after the presentation of the 2025 Budget and Economic Policy by the Honorable Minister for Finance. And the week is just about ending with MPs making their observations and criticisms and comments on the budget statement. Overall, what is your assessment of the budget to first of all start with?
Yeah, it is the responsibility of a president to give out a budget statement to the House for consideration. So the presentation was in order because Ghanaian people deserve to know how their monies are going to be spent in the coming years or in the years in 2025. Because don't forget, this is delayed because of the election. So this is the time the actual budget is coming in. People are anxious. They want to know what is in the budget, especially the market men, women, and the drivers who will be on the streets, and then they will want to know if the fuel prices are going up or is going down. This is of a major concern to a lot of Ghanaians, and then they also want to know if new taxes are being added or some are being taken out. So budget is an important aspect of actually it controls everything. Very important to our lives as Ghanaians. And then budget being that important to Ghanaians is also the responsibility of the members of parliament who represent them. I mean the 275 elected members to have the say of the people that we represent. So whatever we say it should virtually represent the people. So considering the budget, upon hearing for the first time by the presentation of the finance minister, a lot of people were happy and driving to town. People were like, oh, yeah, taxes have been taken out. And people were happy. Yes, it brought joy. But it's time for us to consider the budget because the saying goes, the devil is in the details. So now we wanted to know what is actually in it. So we have the budget document, we're going over and over again. What I see is that it will surprise many Ghanaians to know that the allocations, you understand, the allocation, virtually, let me say it again, budget consists of government policies and programs for the year. So which areas has the government prioritized? And how much are they going to spend? And as soon as they mention the area and the amount allocated, you know what their priorities are. So it's not easy. It's not difficult. You don't even need to ask what's the government priority. You see the allocations, you understand.
So you've mentioned the fact that people were happy when the budget was read, and then there's the details of it, that the scrutiny of the details opens up the Pandora box, as one would want to call it. Having done that, what is the reality now? Does it confirm the excitement that met the budget statement as read by the finance minister, or we are at a different level at this point?
Yeah, it's a situation whereby people heard e-levy has been taken out. It brought joy. The COVID levy has been taken out. Yes, it was good. But what other taxes, new taxes has been introduced that people didn't pay attention to? Because the most familiar one and the popular one were being taken now. So that is why I said there was in the details and the allocations I was talking about. Yes, in 2024, we had the NPP government allocated 320 million to the Office of Government Machinery. And then we fought over it, debated, fought, and then, people will not, our colleagues on the other side will not accept. And to the surprise of many Ghanaians, the NDC government, they have allocated in the budget 2.7 billion. So this is 320 million Ghana cedis against 2.7 billion to the same government machinery. This is it. Now, the further breakdowns are there, but another area that Ghanaians will not even understand is where 78 million is allocated to government communication. As I sit here, my constituents will ask, how are they going to benefit from the government communication? That is a question to Ghanaians to answer. It's a question for them to answer. So these are the amounts, allocations that actually I think Ghanaians wouldn't be happy, where we prioritize the office of government machinery over the road sector. And as I speak, the budget allocation to the roads sector is less than how much is being allocated to the office of government machinery.
The issue of allocation to the government communications, the minister himself has sought to clarify. He explains that with the government's decision to run a lean government means that some institutions which hitherto were under different budget lines now falls under his budget line, and so some of these monies will go into the payment of salaries for workers of, say, GBC, Ghana News Agency, and Ghana Information Services. Does this sit right with you? Is the explanation enough?
It is not enough. That is why they will go about all radio and TV stations to be explaining themselves. Because when you do it right, you don't get to explain yourself that much. Since when? And now he was the last time he even talked about 3 agencies under government communication. But I'm telling you, some of us, we don't trust the information he gave out there. Because so long as the information centers in my constituencies, there's, rural communication, radio stations are also not going to benefit, and you tell me it's only GBC, since when? So my brother, I want us to end it. All I want Ghanaians to know is that 2.7 billion has been allocated to government machinery in the budget, 2025 budget. Whereas these same our colleagues fought us over 320 million Ghana cedis. Period. It's up to them to explain it to the Ghanaians, because Ghanaians didn't vote for them to allocate the monies to themselves. Because look at the nature of our roads. They are very bad. NPP government started a good job. See how many interchanges that we've constructed. See how many bridges and new roads. If we have to continue with this and we make a budget allocation to the road sector, which is less than how much is being allocated to the government office of government machinery, you think Ghanaians will be happy? I think 3 days ago, the sports minister was in the house. And then after talking, colleagues sympathized with him and asked for his budget allocation. It's so small. So when the question was asked, why can't we give the sports ministry some monies to embark on their programs? Now they said the rest of the fund is in the big push. What is the big push? Who knows about the big push? What is the details of how the amount allocated to the big push is going to be used? That is another question. So these are the things. And then this morning I was looking at how much was allocated to local government. And don't forget, Ministry of Sanitation has been taken to local government. And local government budget is less than how much is being allocated to the government machinery. If I should mention them, I can go on and on and on. Simply, to say that they have allocated the monies to the government machinery, which, somebody in my village will not understand. That's not what Ghanaians expect from them.
Beyond the understanding of the Ghanaian, if we are to look at the implementation and implications thereof, what does this mean in your estimation? If the government, you say, is prioritizing government machinery communication over roads and infrastructure and other issues, what does that mean?
It means that government is not interested in investing in the economy. That is the industrial sector, in services, in the agri sector, because these are the sectors you need to invest to boost the economy. So government is not ready. And no wonder their GDP growth for 2025 is predicted to be 4.0. Whereas we handed over a 5.7 GDP growth to them. And you check 2026, they have a constant 5%. 2027, same. 2028, same. So if you should find the average for the 4-year for NDC government, their percentage for GDP is going to be 4.5. So it means they are not ready to invest. That is what it is.
You would want to weigh it against their justification. The finance minister, Dr. Forson, says he would rather prefer to under-promise and over-deliver. And so if he's saying 4.0, maybe he's even in actual sense targeting maybe 10, 15, 20, who knows?
That is politics. Sometimes you consider your strength, you understand. But when you are ambitious, being overly ambitious is not good. But one need to be ambitious. You understand? So who even knows that even the 4.0, they'll be able to attain it? Because considering the policies and their programs they have given out, it's going to be hard for them. Now they talk about a 24-hour economy. This is something there has been several explanations to. And as we speak, there's no budget allocation to the 24-hour economy. And looking at their programs, virtually fit into programs of most of the ministries. Yet, they want to have a secretariat for the 24-hour economy. One may ask, what is 24-hour economy? You see, the 24-hour economy, this is how I understand it. It's supposed to be a demand base. Where you don't have the demand, why are you going to work 24 hours? My brother, you don't have the demand. You're going to work 24 hours? No. So what is the demand? They should be able to let Ghanaians know the demand for the 24-hour. But if nothing changes, and we keep saying 24 hour, it then becomes a slogan. It will not add anything. Even with the so-called 24-hour economy, they keep talking about for job creation, to boost, industries, industrial growth, yet the estimated GDP, like I told you, is 4.0. So the 24-hour economy is not going to add anything. It's just a rhetoric.
You have suggested that the budget lacks ambition, but to the specifics, they have a number of policies. We talk of you mentioned the 24-hour economy, the gold board, the women's bank, even the Nkommo policy as it is. How does this translate into a lack of ambition?
You see, all these programs mentioned, they already exist. But it's one thing that Ghanaian politicians should note. When you inherit a good program, we should be able to continue. If it is good for Ghanaians, we should continue. Because when you change the name and also create a new agency, you add cost to Ghanaians, the taxpayers. Let's say now they're going to set up for the 24-hour economy. They are going to employ people. They're going to have a secretariat, people being paid. Where is that money going to come from? The same Ghanaian. When you come and there's a gold for oil, which is being regulated by the banks, you don't have confidence in it. So now you want to introduce, or you've already introduced, the gold board. Now you are going to set up a board. Then what happened to the gold for oil? Which, from the budget statement, that it was able to stabilize the dollar for us. So it's tried and tested, yet you don't want to continue. You're going to create another department and spend so much. Where's the money coming from? It's the same Ghanaians. So I believe that with all these programs where you are not taking the Ghana the Mahama Care and the rest, it's the same programs we already have. But for political expediency, one may want to change the name. But as the saying goes, the end will justify the means. I'm not speaking as a doomsayer because I wouldn't want to, because I love my country and that the growth and development of Ghana is a priority to me. So ours is to critique, to make sure things are done right. That is the only thing.
Talking about criticism, you've already voiced out on some specifics, including the gold board policy. If you say that it lacks ambition, this is a policy that is projected to elevate our current gold purchase by some wild mile. So why do you say this is not good?
My brother, where are they going to get the gold from? You see, you want to buy gold, it is fine. So you set up a gold board. You've assigned, actually made a budgetary allocation. It is okay. If this is what the government wants to do, it's okay. But you see, the same government that is not ambitious in growing the economy, okay, yet you look at the gold board, the information from PMMC as of 2023, the gold purchased from small-scale miners was 2.7 tons a month. This government is being overly ambitious here, which is scary. They want to buy a minimum 3 tons a week. So in effect, they want to buy a minimum 12 tons in a month. Yet information available even from for 2024 indicate that if they have to base solely on the small-scale mining industry, they should be able to do between 3 to 5 tons in a month. Yet, they would want to do 12 tons in a month. This is scary. This is scary. Where are they going to get the gold from? This must be a concern of every Ghanaian, because there's a fight for Galamsey. And when they were in opposition, they said we're not able to control the Galamsey fight simply because some of us were even part of the activities. So out of which Ghanaians lost trust in the NPP government and handed over power to them. Without investing in the sector, yet the expectations are way high, above the ceiling. Where are they going to get it from? So it's scary. So my fear is that it's going to worsen the Galamsey menace in this country if this is not properly handled.
Talking of properly handling this and dealing with the Galamsey menace, the government has times without number affirmed its commitment to fighting the Galamsey, and a few days back some effort was seen in that regard. I'm talking of the inauguration of the over 400 or so blue water guards. These are people that government says they received some level of proper military training to go and guide and safeguard our water bodies. Is this a step in the right direction? Does this even amount to the magnitude of fights we have to face as a country in dealing with galamsey?
My brother, thank you. So you have an idea how long these people were trained? You have an idea?
No one that I'm aware of.
Okay, great. So when, you put together high school graduates and the party boys, and you train them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you call them river guards who are going to guard the rivers to save our waters for us. I won't trust that, because we sent out the Operation Vanguard, military men, armed military men, yet we still struggled and we couldn't win. So Ghanaians kick us out. So how are you going to trust where a high school graduate is being trained for a month, let's say a month or two, to go and fight on the rivers? It is difficult, but I pray that they succeed. But it is difficult. Sometimes they can do some of these gimmicks for Ghanaians to trust them.
You describe it as a gimmick.
My brother, where we have armed men, the Vanguard, Operation Vanguard, couldn't win. With all the helicopters on the grounds, a lot of operations went on. But they couldn't. So if you have to train high school graduates and you want them to go and fight for Ghanaians to see it's an attempt, it might not be enough. But like I said, the end will justify the means, because Ghanaians have so much confidence in them. So you saw, how they voted for them. They have overwhelming majority in the House. And now the president, I think it's never even happened in the history of the country. So Ghanaians trust them. So let's see what they'll be able to do for us. If NDC is not able to help Ghana between now and 2028, then it means that it will be difficult for us as a country. Why so? Because so much power has been given to them. And some other people even initially said, we don't, the minority, we don't even matter. And that they gave us a name, micro minority, the minority of minorities. And now they have the super majority. It's never happened before. So when you have so much power, you have the legislature and you have the executive.
They don't have a reason to fail.
What reason do they have? Governance is about the legislature and then the executive, because everything comes to this house. We can critique, but yet whatever they want to do, they can go ahead to do it because they have the numbers. So Ghanaians are looking up to them. Ours is to critique. We'll do that. But when it comes to voting, they will always have their way. Don't forget, President John Mahama, in one of his speeches, he said it in P. He said, "I buy the ball, techino, at the hormone chain bar." He suffered, similar defeat. Ghanaians, and I don't think that in this country, if there's somebody or anybody that knows Ghanaians better, it has to be President John Mahama, because he has been through the mills. He's a former president. He one time became a former president, and another point became a candidate, and he's in to do his second term bid. He understands them. So now we are all learning the new way of Ghanaian politics. Just do what Ghanaians will ask of you, and Ghanaians want to keep you, they'll keep you. We are not here by ourselves. We are here because they want us to be here.
Would you say that is your biggest lesson coming out from the defeat?
Oh, yes, it must be one of the biggest lessons to every politician. Not every Ghanaian is a politician, but to every politician, it should be one of the biggest lessons, because you don't learn from this, there wouldn't be anything to learn in politics.
On the sidelines, a lot of, venting here and there. The Honorable Adjo Asafo, the former member of Parliament for Dominic Abidjan, was in the news a few days ago doing more or less a media tour. On the back of that, the party issued a statement for members to exercise restraint in terms of voicing out and criticizing and all that. It looks like she said it was not a direct statement to her, so she went on, and then the next hours after that, the party issues a directive sending her case to a disciplinary committee. What would you say should be the specific process that your party should adapt in this whole regrouping and rebuilding agenda?
Thank you. You see, the party is bigger. I am a member of parliament for the people of Kade because of the party. I didn't contest independent. I contested on the ticket of the NPP to be here. And as a matter of fact, I'm here as an NPP MP. Even though we are a minority, I'm proud NPP MP. So, after our defeat, there has been a decision, or the party has given a direction that a committee should inquire into reasons for our loss or our defeat. The committee's work is ongoing. So if the party has issued a letter that members should control or stay calm and wait, I would advise that we control ourselves. We should wait and see what the committee will bring out. I also believe that when this committee's report is ready, the National Party will not hide it. They should make it available. They should let us know the truth. Because there have been several times, not only in the NPP, where committees report says committees are set up, in the end, a report people did not even cite it. So if we mean that the committee should do its work, I would advise party members, sympathizers, to stay calm for the committee to do its work. But in the end, my request to the national parties that they should make their reports available so that we can know where to fix going forward and what to fix.
Finally, or before we conclude, just a little bit on some national issues. The NDC, on the back of their oral agenda, has been making some security-related moves, including the gathering of information, as some of them describe it, which has amounted to some people being arrested, invited, and being placed under investigation. A couple of days ago, the former governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison's house, was raided more or less in a similar fashion that has happened to quite a number of people who were appointed by the Akufo-Addo government. This, according to your caucus, is a mere, or in actuality, a tactic of persecution. Is that what you also believe in?
Yes, that's what I believe in. And then, you see, we are in a democratic society. The days of 1979 is gone. 1981 is no longer there. When people are being chased in their homes, brutalize them, to some of them, they've been, like a lot of, they enter as like armed robbers. That is not fair. There's a way of doing things and doing it right. I believe that if they think that people would have questions to answer based on the offices they handle, they should invite them. I'm against anybody that will steal or that has even stolen state property, anything that belongs to the state. So embezzlement and whatever charges, yes, it can be raised against people, but yet people should be given the right. People should be given the respect to answer questions other than to chase them like criminals. That is not what Ghanaians voted for. If we think people have monies with them, let's take them to due processes and get it for the Ghanaian people, rather than to brutalize them, break into their homes, inconvenience them. We should respect our democracy. If this is not done, then the future will not look good for Ghanaians.
This has been another edition of This Week in Parliament on your most trusted news website, www.ghanaweb.com, with me, George AC, and I had with me as my guest for this edition, Honorable Alexander Ejari, the Member of Parliament for Kade. And so until we meet for our next edition, it's bye for now. Keep reading from Ghana's most visited news website, www.ghanaweb.com, and check us out on YouTube, GhanaWeb TV.